Salutations, everybody. It is Matty here today, and goddamn, it's been good to be me lately because y'all know how much I love the Old Republic. And not only have we had the remake delivered to us, but now we get to talk about finally KOTOR leaving Xbox and coming to more modern consoles. So get cozy because today we're taking a dive right into that. But before we begin, ladies and gentlemen, yesterday I launched a brand new YouTube channel, Retro Rebound. The feedback has been absolutely incredible. We have a couple of thousand subs there, and I want to make sure that if you missed the announcement yesterday, please go check it out. It's linked in the description down below if you like these types of classic games. Plenty more on the way over there. Now, the classic KOTOR port was announced during the Nintendo Direct. This may have been the funniest showcase I have ever experienced. When we started to see the Mario casting decisions and Chris Pratt, Jack Black, some of them weren't bad. I'm just saying, some of them were hilarious. You never would have even imagined it. And then during the stream, there were these moments where I was talking about Sonic a lot, and then you get Sega Genesis, and the first thing they show is Sonic, and it's like, oh my God, it was just a wild stream. But to cap it all off, of course, we have KOTOR Classic. And in this video, we've got all the details to run it down. So let's get it started. They announced over on Twitter, we're thrilled to announce we'll be bringing the classic RPG Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic to Nintendo Switch this November. A huge thank you to Nintendo America for showcasing our next game in today's Nintendo Direct. Now, Aspyr are the ones who are developing not only the remake, but their reputation is solely based in all of the Star Wars ports they've done. Episode 1 Racer, Republic Commando earlier this year. We had actually streamed that here on the channel, but that came out to PlayStation and Switch, as well as Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy. Plenty of old Star Wars games have been ported by them. So we're going to sort of go through what you should expect, and plus some additional information that has been confirmed to me through the producer of Aspyr. But first, bare bones details. So if we head over to that page right now and we take a look at the Knights of the Old Republic listing, it's going for $15 and it'll be available November 11th this year. So Skyrim, you got a competitor. This is going to be like the most nostalgic November of my lifetime. It's going to be incredible. How am I going to find time for this? I don't know. But anyway, 15 bucks, not too bad. Seems pretty standard for what Aspyr does with their ports. I don't think they're really overselling it, but there aren't going to be any new features here. As we can see later on the listing, they talk about the legendary RPG classic now on Nintendo Switch for 4,000 years. Before the Galactic Empire, hundreds of Jedi Knights have fallen in battle against the ruthless Sith, and you are the last hope of the Jedi Order. Can you master the awesome power of the Force and save the Republic, or will you fall to the lure of the dark side? And it talks about how it's a Star Wars epic set in an untouched era before the rise of the Empire with a deep RPG experience, yada, yada, yada. You've seen it all before, but the reason I'm reading through it is because honestly, it's like surreal to see some of the box art writing for KOTOR being on a modern page, and I think only fanboys like me will geek out about that. Now, I think this is a typo, but one other thing that stood out to me on this store listing that I just need to point out is the file size is 15.6 gigabytes. Once again, gonna go out on a limb here and say that this is likely a typo. But given that it's gonna be able to be played in handheld and docked, and they had to change the aspect ratio of the entire game, which was originally in 4:3, now it's going widescreen, and it's much bigger. Part of me wouldn't be shocked if something wild happened here because this has been so long overdue. What's more strange about this than anything, though, is when I reached out to the producer of Aspyr Media, Ryan Treadwell, asking, is it coming to PlayStation as well or just Switch? I know Xbox already has it in back compat, and Ryan said right now we are focusing on bringing the game to Nintendo Switch. This would match up with reports I had personally heard, as well as reports that were already out there publicly from Jordan Mason talking about KOTOR games coming to modern consoles, although he mentioned 1 and 2. I feel like 2 will eventually happen, but given that KOTOR needs a bit of a marketing cycle, if you will, they need to start getting into people's hands. I'm surprised they didn't just jump right into it and bring them to as many platforms as possible. But yeah, they're focusing on Switch, and that is what I had heard, but part of me almost didn't believe that because it didn't make sense since it goes against everything that they've done in the past. Aspyr has historically done Switch and PlayStation ports because they never went to Xbox since Xbox had back compat for most of the games that they were already porting. And if you head right now to the store page, you can see a bunch of screenshots that have been posted, so you can immediately tell there hasn't been any up-resing It's just going to be at a different output, likely 1080p, likely 720p. But overall, I don't think these are the best images to sell the game. And it's kind of funny when the main character has the 2 pistols out in the middle of the upper city of Terrace with Zalbar and Mission. I get a kick out of that one. Ultimately, the biggest surprise here, and I think the biggest disappointment, is no PlayStation. Number one, well, the remake's going to be exclusive on PlayStation. Maybe there's a little bit of galaxy braining going on there. Maybe we don't want to give them the classic on PlayStation. We want them to feel like it's this exclusive, big, special offering. I'm of the mindset, give them the classic and the remake. I'm surprised that PlayStation didn't lock this down. But one concern I do want to air is because now we're seeing the Old Republic being like sectioned off like PC and PlayStation 5 and then only on Switch over here. Of course, Xbox already has it on back compat and stuff, but I'm wondering with the modern expansions, is something going on with the Old Republic where just people want to lock this thing down? Like, I want the Old Republic to be free, baby. I want it to be everywhere. I want everyone to experience it. And of course, with it dropping this year, I need to throw this out there in the middle of this spiel, we're going to do a 2021 review. I just did a 2020 review at the beginning of last year, and you're crazy if you don't think I'm going to take advantage of playing this on new hardware. But the reason I'm more upset than anything about no KOTOR on PlayStation 4 and 5 right now is trophies. For me, getting all the trophies in something like Republic Commando, one of the most important first-person shooters for me growing up, this squad-based tactical shooter with an emotional ending, was getting the trophies all these years later and platinuming it. And they even mentioned this in their write-up about Republic Commando on how they get how fun it is to go back and get trophies. And I love their connection to that there. So it seems like something's missing here. And given that KOTOR took forever to finally start coming to modern consoles, I feel like this is something underneath the hood. Because what's even more strange is that it's just KOTOR 1. A lot of people messaged me and asked, like, do my sources know anything? And I haven't heard anything back personally, but also I don't know what's going on with KOTOR 2. My guess, though, and this is just a guess, no inside information here, is when you take a look at KOTOR 2 on PC, they have a Steam mod workshop set up through a brand new update that the game got in 2015. And with that Steam workshop, you were able to get the restored content mod, which makes KOTOR 2 a much more complete game. To me, it would be a true celebration of KOTOR if they took the time to work with the modding teams to figure out how to permanently integrate that content into not only the PC version, but also the console versions and get people that experience. They would be getting an infinitely worse game if they just got KOTOR 2 Classic. Not that I'd be complaining. I'd be getting the platinum on that too, which, by the way, they already have achievements for that on Steam, which is also why it was kind of surprising. It looked like KOTOR 2 was fully modernized. But what's weird about this as well is KOTOR on PC right now, the original, is pretty bad. And that needs an update. And of course, that's where the remake comes in. But I'm surprised that like maybe some of these bells and whistles aren't going to come over to the PC. It's an interesting situation. But my guess overall is the reason it's only the classic and only on Switch is something underneath the hood. And beyond that, KOTOR 2, they have an opportunity to do more. At least I would hope they would try to do more. Because now that the Old Republic's going to be more important, there needs to be a call for celebration, a call to attention there. And generally, that's what my expectation would be, is that they're trying to include some of the most important mods that define it to make it more than just a port, right? Because that's what these Aspyr games are. They're just the old games brought to new consoles. And that's why it was great to have trophies, because they did a really good job with their trophy list. At least I can go get the platinum. But otherwise, just to be clear here, it's the same game from top to bottom. But apparently it's like 15 gigabytes. I don't know. But anyway, these screenshots look solid. I'm just happy it's coming to modern hardware. If you're wondering, is it time to go play it? Yes. If you're wondering, Matty, should I just wait for the remake? No. Just please play it, because we don't even know if the remake's going to be good. All right, so this is your chance if you've been slacking on it. But otherwise, pretty good direct, right? We got like ActRaiser, we got Castlevania Collection, we got a Final Fantasy kart racer, we got some wild stuff. Disco Elysium finally on Switch. I've been waiting for that for a while. I've had it on PlayStation, I've had it on Xbox, and I'm like, I just want to play this on Switch in my bed. And finally, my prayers have been answered. Just a lot of cool little ports here and there, and Bayonetta 3's back, so hey, shout out to Nintendo. That was a hilarious stream. Really good time watching it all unfold with all of you. And so with that, I conclude some thoughts and information here on KOTOR Classic. So with that, are you going to finally be diving in? Let me know in the comments down below. Other than that, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. Those links are in the description down below. And a big thank you to all the patrons, all the members who continue to support the hell out of the content here and over on Retro Rebound. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.